hides their dark shrine better.
Yeah, that's very true too. We've seen a bit of that lately, but it's not. So I keep saying best of 5. I mean best of 7, or no, it's best of 5. I think I tweeted best of 7. That's a mistake. I gotta go fix that. Best of 5, not best of 7. I am retired. So I'm gonna while I go amend my tweets. Oh dear. Let's start introducing these players.
Okay. In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, see how it flash wolves, PartinG.
Habit. All right, and man, I'm nailing misinformation all over the place today. Cha-ching. His opponent at the top left gonna have to feel the cheese a little bit. It's gonna be chicken. Is that chicken wing? That's a KFC chicken wing. It's over there.
Or Popeyes, you don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. But the thing, oh, that's so silly. The thing for this though that makes this hilarious for me, of course, again, we've watched the emotions of Arthur. He's been unable to find a team. He's been struggling in StarCraft 2, just generally speaking. He's got fun builds. He's got cheesy builds. But now he comes up against the one guy who this is truly a mirror matchup where cheese fights against cheese. And PartinG's going to put a gas at home, but the real question is if he puts a second pylon at home. Because if he's abandoned this, he's not trying to build a cyber core across the map. And what do you do? Like one gate zealot? That's not going to work.
Okay, well, Arthur sees this, and he sees that the probe is also gone. So not going to be anything more on the way, not a second gateway, not totally dedicate 7x core. And I wonder what do you do with that? You're just saying, okay, well, it's going to be like a mildly annoying zealot. But let me just make sure that I'm prepared to micro my probes, I guess.
Man, all these people in chat, by the way, putting the resident sleepers. You guys are so silly. I know PvP may not be everybody's favorite flavor, but I think with these two, it probably will be a pretty interesting one. Now, that being said, PartinG didn't abandon this. He's still dedicating to it. And his Cybercore is still coming up at home. It's actually a little bit behind Arthur's, curiously enough. But the nice thing about playing in this style, and I don't know, it's less all in, as weird as that is to phrase.
No, it's definitely true. But it's also, less all in, less effective as well, especially if they scout it. If they don't scout it, they might skip. They might get double gas, they might skip the first zealots, who knows, right? Like, maybe if they're being really silly, they might even get a Nexus. Who does that in PvP? I don't know. But if you scout it, I mean, you match the production already.
Yeah, that's what Arthur did. He is really important that he saw that as one gate, not two.
Yeah, you have your probes to pull, and you're going to have a little more efficient mining. He doesn't have, like, 6 probes up. He's only up by 1. It's not very much, but he's had more efficient mining.
It's like a really great start for Arthur. He completely gets a dominance here with the Zealots, but again, in even production, the key thing is here, Arthur didn't really lose much more than shields, so when it comes down to this fight, he should be able to win it every single time. PartinG trying to bait the wrong hits, but Arthur not really falling for it. Good control from both sides, and oh, that's all kinds of awkward to watch as PartinG gets absolutely wrecked through this attack.
This really did not do anything, I would say. I mean, maybe what it would have done was messed up Arthur's build had he gone for 2 gases and was planning on, like, proxying a Stargate or something. But Arthur only just recently threw down the second gas, not even mining from it yet.
He tried to sneak in he was going to try and sneak in a pylon across the map. That was good moves from PartinG to check for this, actually. Very specifically, because he knew this was going to be a common reaction.
This is a cool reaction from Arthur, right? Like, you've brought up the 3 gates. And looks like you're right about that one.
Well, I didn't mean it like this, but yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be 3 gate versus 3 gate, but if he kills the pylon, so it's only 2 gate versus 3 gate.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's 3 gate, yeah, but only 2 are working. That being said, this still comes down to the same sort of basic logic that the proxy does, where production, whose production is better? Can you produce stalkers more efficiently? Unless PartinG has, a robo coming out of his ass or anything like that, so we really have to break through. In fact, this triple pylon wall, it's so expensive, but I'd say so necessary because Arthur doesn't have high ground vision coming into this. That's the one really key thing that, for a time, PartinG has over his opponents.
That's so interesting. Is the probe gonna go repower? Oh my god, the probe's gonna go repower that gateway.
It's also gonna provide a proxy location, which is kind of sick. But whether it's picking off a Zealot here or maybe a couple of Stalkers whittled on the low ground, PartinG is doing a great job making the best of a terrible situation.
Oh, please both go DTs. Don't tell me how Blink would be better, okay? Just let them go to both DTs.
Okay, yeah, it's I predict Dark Templar builds out of both players coming out of the follow-up to this.
Thank you.
I was like, forget objective casting. It's about just trying to make Zombie Girl feel better.
It would have been so funny, but I really doubt it. In fact, both of them are gonna go for Blink.
I really think this is cool, though, the behind-the-scenes unit to repower the gateway. It might not seem like a big deal, but it provides that proxy location for a couple of Zealots to move into that mineral line. If PartinG can buy enough time and just send the Zealots in now, there's nothing at home to defend. He'll have to warp it defensively, and if he does, that makes the defense a little bit easier on this side of the map. I don't know, but this is...
got 2 pylons. Good thing I was, 40 below supply block.
Yeah. Well, I definitely wasn't relying on supply for this, but probe line has been compromised. Cancels the gateway for a little bit more money because he actually can't warp in defensively. Mothership core goes down. Oh, but man, the second this breaks through, PartinG's got a photon overcharge. He's bought so much time with this.
Can a photon overcharge handle that amount of those amount of units? I don't think so. He needs to keep warping in sentries. The sentries are slowly taking out the Zealots and Stalkers.
Yeah, there's no high ground vision. It's so stupid, but it's sort of working. Back on the other side of the map, looks like this has been cleaned up. It cost 15 workers. I mean, you ask if the Mothership Core can take this on. I don't think it can take it on directly, but I think it buys him enough time to get his production up. Because 23 probes over 9, that's where PartinG's going to win this game.
Arthur would have had to all in if he got up there. Just tried to pretty much say, I don't care about the Mothership or the Nexus cannon and win the game, which would have been really hard to do before he lost a couple more Zealots and Stalkers.
Oh my god, and now there's enough energy for force fields again.
Yeah, but PartinG has to know to put it on the low ground. He does put it on the low ground, but things still get through. Luckily, Blink's not done yet, and more Stalkers will go down for Arthur.
Stalkers! He's even this up! He's taking the lead! There's a pylon on the other side of the map. He forces so many defensive warp-ins. His opponent's so far down in probes. I think PartinG's got this. Even with Blink coming out for Arthur, I still think PartinG's got this.
Me too. Me too. It is going to be... Arthur might not tap out immediately, though, because he does have Blink over his opponents, and they both don't have Nexus. Maybe he can do something with the better tech, but just, PartinG's already just waited his own Blink, and, well, then that's going to be basically nothing in his advantage.
This was so sick. This was so sick. I've never really seen someone recover so well off of the worst start possible. I mean, PartinG doesn't cut a lot of probes, but he cuts about 2 or 3 probes in the early game to get that proxy out. The proxy itself fails, and not just that it fails miserably, but the PartinG does really cool things like he repowers the gateway so he can match the production of his opponent. He holds at the ramp so well at home. A photon overcharge hasn't gone off yet, but I mean, with the Zealots winning so hardcore on the ramp, yeah, he doesn't need it. He's probably sitting there honestly debating, do I throw down a time warp instead? But where do these Stalkers go? They die to the photon overcharge, or they get picked off on the retreat path? I mean, he's gonna get sandwiched in here.
Blink not quite done for PartinG, but it's already halfway. And Arthur...
It's 9 probes. I just can't get over that. Arthur, he's not even trying to make any more because he knows how far behind he is. But I don't think even with the best Blink micro, even if PartinG didn't have Blink, it's just too much.
Yeah, there's the GG. So, it took him a little longer. Then, we probably knew it was over, but it was definitely